The next definition is elevation, and everything I know about elevation I initially learned when I was in high school. I took 2 years of architectural drafting, and great life skill to have to be able to understand how a mechanical pencil is applied as a tool to make a drawing. Of course now, there are no mechanical pencils, but that foundational understanding of what blueprints are came from that exposure to architectural drafting in high school, where we were drawing elevations, cross sections, plan view, things of that nature. And one very great thing that I learned, which I've remembered all these decades in fact, is our high school drafting teacher said, you've got 3 different perspectives on something, whether it be a house or it be a widget, a gizmo. You're going to have the elevation view, you're going to have the plan view, and then you're going to have the right side view. And the way that Mr. Fredericks explained it to me was, Howard, okay, elevation. Imagine if you're sitting in your car and you're driving past the house. When you look at the house, that's the elevation. To me, it makes perfect sense. Plan view. Imagine you're God looking down. That's the plan view. Right side view, he said, Howard, cut that thing in half, turn around and look at its right side, and that's what it looks like in cross-section. So elevation is one of those 3 ways to view something. And when it comes to home construction, or obviously building construction in the steel door business, you're going to be dealing with, what does it look like in elevation? Is there a transom you'll want to look at? You got a 6080, but you're getting something weird. The comments talk about glass. You're like, well, where's the glass? And there may or may not be a frame elevation. There would normally be. But you could flip back to the elevation sheet and look at, oh, that north side of the building has a transom in it. Oh my gosh, I should check the rest. So that's the elevation. Having the plan view obviously is needed, because that's how you can count up all your doors and the swings and wall thicknesses, which leads me into your right side view. So that'll be called a wall section, so that you can say, well, what jam depth frames do I need? So right now we're talking about only elevation. The way that they define this is an orthographic, and I'm not a wordsmith, but to me orthographic means, what's the standard way? What would be typical? It would be typical to write an A like this. I think that is orthographic. It's the normal way to do it. Maybe I'm wrong. An orthographic projection of the vertical side of a hollow metal assembly, doors, frames, etc., usually shown on the architectural plans in conjunction with the vertical side view of a building wall. So they're saying you'll have a wall section, elevation, and then again plan view. But that elevation and that wall section, they don't say right side view, but if you were going to draw that widget, you would show a right side view. Though the elevation and the wall section go together. Let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at what elevation means and maybe some examples. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, elevation, an orthographic projection of the vertical side of a hollow metal assembly, doors, frames, etc., usually shown on the architectural plans in conjunction with the vertical side, the vertical side view of a building wall. So, okay. Usually shown on the architectural plans. One neat thing that I was taught as I'm flipping through 100 pages of blueprints, my customer said, just turn to the A sheets. And I says, what do you mean? He's like, look in the lower right-hand corner. What's the letter do you see? S? Those are the structurals. Go to the A's. So let's take a look at a job that I either supplied or didn't. I don't recall. It's just a set of plans. There's nothing unusual about this. And you've probably been to this shop if you've been to Las Vegas. There's obviously a floor plan. Okay, so that's going to be the God view, the floor plan. Really helpful. And as we continue to scroll through, you're going to see A, by the way, right there. Let's FP, probably fire protection would be my guess. E, electrical would be my guess. M, mechanical. Okay, you get the picture. So we want to be in the A sheets. So if someone ever says to you, send me the architecturals, they mean don't send me anything but the A sheets. No need to send them is the bottom line. It's one heck of a big shop, that's for sure. That might be the door schedule there. Because I've supplied to this tenant indirectly in the past. Okay, so this is definitely going to be an elevation. This is what it's going to look like when you're standing in front of the building. There's always going to be a reference to what you're looking at. So when you're looking at a floor plan, there will be some indicator of what sheet or drawing you need to look at that face of the wall, whatever it might be. Here's a great example of an elevation. You know, Caesars in Las Vegas. Got some doors that are shown there. Nice to see that they're just rectangular openings. But then here's a cross section. Primary facade barricade section. They're basically showing this contractor, this is what we want it to look like when you're doing construction there. But these are basically elevations. It's a building section, but it shows you what that wall looks like. So again, floor plan, God view, elevation, as if you're sitting in your car, and then right side view or wall section. Cut it in half and look down one end of it, and that's known as the right side view. Got some isometric drawings here. And yeah, still in the architecturals. Let's see if we can get to Okay, and hopping out of those plans, moving to what I think is just an apartment building. Floor plans, this will be easier because it's, yeah. Yeah, elevations are really important because it gives you an idea of what it looks like. Wall sections, to touch on that quickly. Here's our door schedule. And what I think SDI was saying was usually shown on the architectural plans. Okay, yeah, we got an A number, so they're architecturals. In conjunction with the vertical side view of a building wall. And yeah, wall sections, really common. You're going to need that because the door schedule, the elevation, doesn't tell you what they want in terms of wall thickness for jams. This makes it extremely, well, this doesn't make it extremely clear, but nonetheless, you can get there by looking at this stuff. Yeah, it varies. Beautiful. So if I'm looking at this, I actually don't know what that wall thickness is, but maybe there's a legend. So we're going to look at sheet A109, number 4. That is so what this is calling out is when you look at the floor plan, you'll be looking for a 4 on sheet A109. So if we go back to the floor plan, it'll be called out there. And then you can flip back to that page and you'll see it. Anyway, hopefully you get the point of what that wall section refers to. Right side view of those openings. These are sill details, would be my guess, or that's what you would really pull away from that, what the sill section looks like on these right side view door details. So 3 different views, all of them are necessary. You obviously have to have a schedule, but the elevation is just as important that you should take a look at. If the schedule is pretty straightforward and there's nothing telling you that there's something odd, you know, looking at the elevation is less, the need to do so is less immediate, but looking at the elevation is really important because it may be shown with a narrow light, but it's not called out here in the door elevation, which is going to be over here under door types. All the types on this schedule are shown as flush, but gosh, you don't want to be the person that missed the fact that all the exterior hollow metal doors have 3x33s in it. The elevation would have picked that up. And there's not going to be a lot of pity or sympathy if even though the door type is wrong, but it's still shown. Anyway, so the next definition is going to be embossed. I know what that means. Let's go on to the next definition. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.